Welcome back, everybody. One thing I've been focusing on a lot lately is organization. So I've got a lot of small tools and parts and supplies, and I really enjoy tinkering on things, but I've got a pretty small apartment and I want to be able to know where stuff is when I want to work on a project. So one thing that I found to be really helpful in getting organized are these plastic shoe boxes. I got these at Home Depot. You can also get them off Amazon. I'll throw a link in the description. And they're just about the perfect size for organizing all kinds of small parts and supplies. Pretty much this whole row up here is all my electrical stuff. And so for instance, here's a box that I have switches and outlets in. And the neat thing about the size of these boxes is they're small enough that you can't really lose anything inside of them. They're not too deep. They're deep enough to hold most stuff. And so usually when I have a box this size, say this would get filled up with switches and outlets, at that point I would divide it into two boxes, one for switches, one for outlets. So they're just, I think, in my opinion, the perfect size. So check out these labels again. I made that out of Sharpie marker and gaffer's tape. If you're not familiar with gaffer's tape, it's used a lot in the video production industry for holding down wires and cords in a stage setting or anywhere where you don't want stuff to be tripped over. It's got a textured surface that really takes a Sharpie marker well, and when you go to peel it off of a container, say you want to take that label off and put another one on or just not use it anymore, there's no glue that's left behind. I've used masking tape, but it doesn't hold up real well, and the Sharpie, masking tape is okay, but it doesn't work the greatest. Duct tape works okay, but it always leaves residue behind. So this gaffer's tape I've found to be pretty handy. I've got a 1 inch and a 2 inch. I think you can get it up to like 4 inches wide, and you can get it in all kinds of different colors, and I've found it to be really handy. Another thing that I've come to really like are these plastic tackle box organizers. So these are made by Plano, and you can get them in a couple different sizes, but this size is one of my favorites. It's about 2 inches tall, maybe 1.5 inches tall, and has options for a bunch of different compartments inside. Again, I use the gaffer's tape to label them. And you can see inside here, this one I have full of drywall screws and construction screws. I've got one for different kinds of wire connectors, staples, different kinds of other nuts and bolts, and they're just about the perfect size. They're not super heavy duty. You wouldn't want to throw them around, say on a job site, but if you've got tools and supplies that you want to stay organized and want to know exactly what you have at a quick glance, but you're not taking it to, say, a construction site all the time, these are just about perfect. Another thing I found really helpful when organizing a room is to have these Sterlite Ultra baskets. Now you can get them in different sizes. This particular one, my favorite size, is the large, but they're great for organizing office supplies, first aid stuff, just different, maybe small outdoor knickknacks for sports and, camping gear, just small knickknack kind of things, aerosol cans, whatever it might be. And again, I use the gaffer's tape to put labels on them. So if I want to rearrange things at some point, I just peel the labels off. There's no glue or anything left behind, and I can rearrange as I want to. So that's my tip for today for staying organized. Stay tuned for more tips like this, and we'll see you next time.